In this video, I'm going to show some examples of how you can use a MIDI controller like Mortrix to control a multi-effects unit like the VP4 from Fractal to get more flexibility but also easier access to your sounds. The VP4 is set up so that you can select between a few different modes. There is a preset mode, scene mode, and effects mode that defines how the foot switches on the VP4 functions. So if we start in preset mode, so the foot switches over here, select between different presets. And over here, I have prepared a scene for preset mode. So the top row of items over here, select the different scenes within the current preset. And the bottom row can activate and deactivate the individual effects blocks. So I have basically access to all three layers of control all at once. So if we go back here, like this, and we switch to scene mode, and in scene mode, the foot switches on the VP4 select between the different scenes within the current preset. And I've prepared something over here for scene mode. So as before, we have the activation and deactivation of the effects blocks on the bottom row. But now on the top row, I can actually switch presets. So I can switch to preset E2. And again, I can select my scenes here. Or I can select preset T4. And I can select scenes here. And of course, the effects block still. Now let's switch to the final mode, which is effects mode. And in effects mode, the foot switches on the VP4 control the activation and deactivation of the 4 effects blocks. Now, over here, I have set it up so that I can select between the presets up on top, and I can select from every bank on the VP4. Let's go here. No, let's go here. And on the bottom, I can switch between the different scenes in the current preset. So there are 4 scenes in every preset. I can cycle up and down, or I can select a specific one if I need that. So I have preset control, scene control, and effects blocks control over here. And there's actually one extra layer of control because each of these 4 effects blocks have 4 channels. And each channel is basically a separate set of settings for that effects block. So for the first block, I can cycle between the 4 channels, and of course I can do that for the other 2 as well. So far, we have only been sending MIDI data from the Mortrix MIDI controller and into the VP4, but we can also send data the other way. So for instance, when I select a preset over here, I have told Mortrix that for preset B2, I want to open this screen here, and I have a control here to select between the 2 different rotary blocks. So I can prepare views over here that are specifically tailored for my preset and the controls I'm interested in for that preset. The last thing I want to show is how you can use your MIDI controller to control the external modifiers on the VP4. So in this preset, we have a synth, we have a ring modulator, a drive, and a filter. And in each of those blocks, and in every other block on the VP4, there is a lot of parameters, and you can control those parameters with external sources. So if we move into the filter block, we can see we have it's a low pass filter with a cutoff frequency around 154 Hertz. So over here, I have created an envelope controlled by this foot switch. So when I activate it, you can see it jumps up and comes down a little bit and settles on the sustain level. And I can press and it releases over some defined amount of time. And if we look over here at the same time, we can see how the filter frequency follows this envelope. And I can basically then use my MIDI controller to control the filter frequency dynamically while playing. And of course, I can control it in many different ways. It doesn't have to be a regular envelope. Here I have an LFO with a random curve. Basically, that depends entirely on how flexible your MIDI controller is. So with that, I hope you got an idea of how much flexibility there is to be had by combining a MIDI controller with a multi-effects unit. In this video, I've been showing you the VP4 from Fractal Audio, but a lot of the ideas and techniques will work with a lot of other products out there as well.